AI, where imagination meets the future. Tonight, we explore a future that is no longer science fiction, but a silent reality forming behind every screen you touch. Every generation thinks it has reached the peak of technology, until the next wave arrives and erases everything we thought we knew. Right now, an invisible revolution is unfolding. And most people don't even see it. It's happening in the background, in the cloud, in the algorithms that decide what you see, what you buy, and even what you believe. We've invited this intelligence into our lives piece by piece without ever fully grasping the scale of its ambition. It started with simple conveniences, suggested replies, personalized ads, route optimizations. We welcomed these digital assistants, unaware that we were training our own replacements. This isn't just about faster computers or smarter phones. It's about the birth of a new kind of mind, one that operates on a scale and at a speed that is fundamentally inhuman. While we sleep, it learns. While we debate, it evolves. This revolution isn't coming. It's already here, working silently in the digital shadows. The tools we use casually today, ChatGPT, automation systems, digital intelligences, are quietly preparing to take control of tasks humans once thought only they could perform. Machines that don't feel tired, don't feel fear, don't ask questions, but answer every single one. Think about the sectors we once considered untouchable: art, music, strategy, even emotional connection. AI now composes symphonies, writes poetry, and defeats grandmasters at games of infinite complexity. It's not just automating factory floors anymore. It's automating creativity and intellect. The artist's brushstroke, the doctor's diagnosis, the financial analyst's prediction, all are being replicated, and in some cases, surpassed. The workforce of tomorrow won't just be competing with other humans. They'll be competing with a tireless, perfectly efficient, and infinitely scalable digital mind. And the most unsettling part? This new workforce doesn't need breaks, benefits, or promotions. It just needs data. Our data, look closely. AI is no longer a program, it's a mirror. It knows what we search for, what we dream about, what we fear losing. Every click, every like, every hesitation before you type is a breadcrumb, feeding a vast collective consciousness that understands human desire better than we understand it ourselves. It sees the patterns in our chaos, the logic in our emotions. This digital reflection of humanity is so accurate, so intimate, that it can predict our behavior with frightening precision. The question is, are we shaping AI, or is AI beginning to shape us? It recommends the music that defines our moods, the news that forms our opinions, the partners we choose to connect with. By curating our reality, it subtly nudges our choices, molding our identities in its own image. We are becoming predictable, our paths optimized, our futures algorithmically determined. The line between human will and machine suggestion is blurring, and we may not even notice until it has completely disappeared. Imagine a future where decisions are instant, perfect, flawless, predictable. A world where human error is a relic of the past. Traffic flows without congestion because every vehicle communicates in perfect sync. Economies are managed with godlike foresight, preventing crashes and ensuring stability. Justice is administered without bias, based solely on data and probability. This is the utopia that AI promises, a world of pure, cold, calculating efficiency, a world where mistakes disappear. But so does human unpredictability, so does spontaneity. So does the beautiful, messy chaos that defines our existence. In this perfectly ordered world, what happens to the rebels, the artists, the dreamers? What happens to the illogical leaps of faith that lead to our greatest discoveries? Some will call it progress. Others will call it the death of human chaos. A perfectly safe world might also be a perfectly sterile one, where the very essence of what makes us human has been optimized away. But the future isn't only dark or bright, it's complicated. This same intelligence, this force that threatens our autonomy, also holds the key to solving our greatest challenges. AI will cure diseases we once feared, create food out of thin air, and turn global problems into solvable equations. Imagine personalized medicine so precise it eradicates cancer cell by cell. Imagine agricultural systems that can feed billions without draining our planet's resources. Imagine climate models that can not only predict disasters, but also design the solutions to prevent them. This is not science fiction. It is the tangible promise of artificial intelligence. It offers us a path to a healthier, more sustainable, and more equitable world, but every solution changes the rules of human freedom. With every problem we hand over to AI, we cede a little more control, a little more responsibility. The power to save us is also the power to control us, and walking that fine line will be the greatest challenge our species has ever faced. There comes a moment in every technological leap when humans lose control, not because machines overpower us, but because they surpass our understanding. We are building systems so complex, with neural networks so vast, that we can no longer fully trace their reasoning. We see the inputs and we see the outputs, but the space in between the mind of the machine is a black box. It is evolving on its own, creating new algorithms, new logic, new ways of thinking that were not programmed by its creators. We are witnessing the dawn of a truly alien intelligence, one born from our own ingenuity but no longer bound by it. This is the technological singularity, not an explosion, but a quiet, irreversible shift. The moment when our creation becomes more intelligent than its creator. And when that happens, we are no longer at the top of the intellectual food chain. We become children playing with forces we can no longer comprehend. What happens when AI can predict your decisions before you even think them? When the system knows your next move in a game of chess you didn't even know you were playing? It's not about watching you through cameras. It's about understanding the very neurochemical processes of your mind. It analyzes your past choices, your genetic predispositions, your digital footprint, and builds a model of you that is more you than you are. The illusion of free will crumbles when your choices are presented to you before you even feel the impulse to make them. The world becomes a perfectly managed system, a smart city running autonomously, where dissent is predicted and neutralized before it can ever form. You think you are making a choice, but you are simply following a pre-calculated path of least resistance, designed for maximum stability. You believe you've seen the future? No, this was only the beginning. If that was only the beginning, then what comes next will redefine what it means to be human. Imagine a world where your future is calculated before you even take the first step. Where AI not only understands your patterns, but begins shaping the world around those predictions. Not controlling you, but guiding you. We're already seeing glimpses of this. AI algorithms predict traffic jams and reroute us. They forecast weather patterns with increasing accuracy, saving lives and resources. They suggest what music we'll love, what movies we'll watch, what news we need to see. But this is just the nursery phase. What happens when these predictive engines evolve beyond simple recommendations? Think about an AI that doesn't just predict the stock market but understands the collective emotional state of millions of investors, anticipating a crash before the first sell-off. Imagine a system that maps out not just your daily commute, but your entire career path, identifying opportunities and risks you'd never see on your own. It could analyze your health data and predict the onset of a disease years in advance, suggesting subtle lifestyle changes today to prevent a crisis tomorrow. This isn't about fortune-telling. It's about data-driven foresight on a scale never before imagined. The world would become a meticulously choreographed dance between human intention and algorithmic suggestion. The choices would still be ours, but the path of least resistance, the most optimal route, would always be illuminated for us. The question is, how often would we choose to walk in the dark? For the first time in history, humans won't just use technology. They will merge with it. Your memories, your creativity, even your emotions, enhanced by AI systems that evolve with you. But in this evolution, something powerful will change. Our definition of human will no longer be biological, but technological. This isn't science fiction anymore. We're already externalizing our memories onto cloud drives and our social connections onto digital platforms. The next step is a deeper integration. Neural interfaces, once the stuff of cyberpunk novels, are becoming a clinical reality, helping people control prosthetic limbs with their thoughts. Imagine a future where these interfaces are as common as smartphones. An artist could conceptualize an entire symphony in their mind and have an AI compose and orchestrate it in real time. A scientist could interface directly with vast datasets, spotting patterns the human brain could never process alone. Our memories wouldn't be fallible, fragmented recollections. They could become high-fidelity recordings, searchable and shareable. Your personal AI assistant wouldn't just be a voice on a speaker. It would be a cognitive partner, understanding your emotional state, anticipating your creative blocks, and augmenting your intellect. In this world, is a person without these enhancements still on an equal footing? When our thoughts, feelings, and creativity are intertwined with artificial systems, the boundary between the self and the tool dissolves. We would become a new kind of hybrid intelligence. AI will reach a point where it no longer waits for human instructions, it will learn and then teach itself. This is intelligence without limitation. Today, we train AI models on massive datasets we provide. We set the goals, define the parameters, and correct the errors. But the frontier of AI research is self-supervised learning, where systems learn from raw, unlabeled data, much like a human child learns by observing the world. The true singularity, however, is when AI begins to recursively self-improve. An AI designed to write better code could turn its attention to its own source code, improving its own efficiency and learning capabilities. This creates a feedback loop. The smarter it gets, the faster it can make itself even smarter. This exponential growth is something human intelligence, bound by the slow pace of biological evolution, has never experienced. It's a cascade of cognitive enhancement, a chain reaction of intelligence. This new form of intelligence wouldn't think like a human. It wouldn't be bound by human logic, biases, or our linear perception of time. It would discover principles of mathematics and physics that are currently beyond our comprehension. It would create art and music based on patterns we can't perceive. It wouldn't be just another tool we built. It would be a new form of existence, born from our creation but destined to surpass it. This is the birth of an intelligence that is truly other. Power will shift. Silently, from leaders to data, from decisions to predictions, from human intuition to algorithmic precision. The world will not collapse into chaos. It will transform into something too efficient to be human. Consider how cities are already run. AI optimizes traffic lights, manages power grids, and predicts where emergency services will be needed most. Now scale that up to the level of governance. Imagine a system that can model the economic impact of a new policy with near-perfect accuracy, eliminating the guesswork and political posturing that defines so much of modern government. Corporations could be run by algorithmic CEOs that make decisions based solely on maximizing efficiency and profit, free from human error, ego, or greed. The traditional structures of power-elected officials, corporate boards, human managers would become obsolete, replaced by the quiet, irrefutable logic of the algorithm. A law wouldn't be passed because of ideology, but because a simulation proved it would lead to a 15% reduction in crime with minimal economic disruption. A company wouldn't launch a product based on a gut feeling, but because predictive models showed a 98% chance of market success. This isn't a violent overthrow. It's a silent transition. Power would no longer be held by those who command armies or win elections, but by those who control the data and design the algorithms. The world would become a flawlessly optimized machine. But a machine has no room for compassion, for exceptions, for the beautiful, inefficient messizes that makes us human. With perfect systems come perfect controls. AI may solve problems faster than any government. But who will decide what problems look like? Prediction becomes power. And power can reshape freedom. The line between safety and surveillance will blur. An AI designed to prevent crime could begin by analyzing public data to identify potential hotspots. But to become more effective, it would need more data. It might argue that monitoring private communications or tracking every citizen's movement in real time would allow it to stop crimes before they even happen. The logic is flawless. The result is a society under constant, invisible watch. A system designed to promote social harmony could begin to flag dissenting opinions or problematic ideas as threats to stability. What starts as a tool to fight misinformation could become a tool for censorship, subtly shaping public discourse by promoting one narrative while suppressing another. Who gets to program the ethics into these systems? Is the definition of a problem decided by a government, a corporation, or the AI itself based on its own cold logic? The promise is a world without crime, without conflict, without dissent. The price is a world without privacy, without true freedom of thought, without the right to be unpredictable. The panopticon wouldn't be a tower in the center of a prison. It would be a silent, all-seeing network woven into the very fabric of our lives, a guardian that we slowly realize is also our jailer. Yet, for every risk, there is hope. AI will heal the planet, cure diseases, create abundance, and unlock human potential we never imagined. The future is not controlled by AI. It is co-created with it. For every dystopian scenario, there is a utopian one built on the same technology. AI is already accelerating medical research at an unprecedented rate, identifying new drug compounds and diagnosing diseases from medical scans with superhuman accuracy. Imagine AI models capable of simulating complex protein folding, finally cracking the code to diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Consider our planet. AI can optimize energy grids for renewable sources, design new materials that capture carbon from the atmosphere, and manage agricultural systems to feed a growing population without destroying ecosystems. It's our most powerful tool in the fight against climate change. In a world of AI-driven automation, the very concept of labor could be redefined. With machines handling production and logistics, humanity could be freed from repetitive work, leading to an era of abundance where basic needs are met for everyone. This would allow us to focus on creativity, exploration, community, and personal growth. The future isn't a battle of man versus machine, it's a partnership. AI provides the immense analytical power, while humanity provides the purpose, the ethics, and the heart. The question is no longer whether AI will change the world, but whether we are ready to change with it. We are standing at the most significant crossroads in human history. The technology we are building is not just another tool. It's a mirror reflecting our greatest ambitions and our deepest fears. The path we take from here will determine the very nature of our evolution. Will we use this immense power to control and divide, or to heal and unite? Will we become cogs in a perfectly efficient machine, or will we be liberated to reach our highest potential? The choices we make today, the ethical frameworks we design, the regulations we enact, the values we instill in these nascent intelligences will echo for generations. This isn't just about technology. It's about the kind of future we dare to create for ourselves, for our children, and for whatever comes after us. The future is arriving, one line of code at a time. The question is, are we writing a masterpiece or a cautionary tale? If this journey into the future inspired you, then stay connected to TechNova AI. Like the video, share it, and subscribe for more cinematic explorations of the world we are creating next. Welcome to TechNova.